adjusts herself back in her seat, kind of stunned momentarily from the giant lava explosion, and she grabs the radio and clicks it on. Wanzook!
You hear over the radio a very calm voice given the destruction going on you.
Yes, Evelyn.
She's like, her mouth is still agape as she's looking in the rear view mirror at the approaching lava elemental or fire elemental, and she goes, we need to evacuate. We need to leave. Any tips on how we can? She kind of veers a little as she's driving.
Yes. Well, I can certainly bring the ship down at a location you choose. However, you should know that while the ship is coming down to get you, I won't have contact with you.
What?
Not until you get back into orbit.
No, you're right. I remember that. Okay, let me. Can I call you back? She just hangs up the radio. And she'll get on the rest of the, I don't know, can people hear that conversation?
Oh, Zach heard everything, and if he wasn't flying so fast and needed to see everywhere he was going, he'd be rolling his eyes incredibly deep.
Guys, how's everyone doing?
Zach, barks over the comms and he says, we need to get out of its path. Everyone needs to get mobile, and I suggest we go as far to the east as we can. Let this thing chase down the rest of the vehicles. I doubt it's after us.
You do hear over the radio, Charlotte, she keys the mic, so you hear static for a second, and then you just hear,
ow.
Yeah, from the incredibly packed cockpit, Cor kind of braces himself against the incredibly rickety trap door, just it open. Is everyone okay up here?
You see Charlotte with her hair frazzled and half burnt off. Her eyebrows are completely gone. Her uniform is darkly singed. She is standing there staring straight forward at nothing.
Oak, you look oh, that's Charlotte. Oh my god. I look behind at Oak. How's Oak doing?
Looks like a raccoon.
And you'll see Jack behind them, just in his power armor, slowly giving you a thumbs up.
Thank you for asking, Cor. I am doing quite well. However, I have lost an extreme amount of blood, and remaining conscious any longer is going to be...
Oh, yeah.
I just straight up pass out.
Oh, yeah, that's probably my fault. Lucian removes his foot from Dom's face. My bad.
You actually, when you look down, though, you do see that Dom is bleeding from several large gashes given to him by spikes while climbing the side of the tank.
Ooh. I point back down. I gotta deal with the thing. I slam the trap door shut and get to work on maybe fixing this guy.
The pilot next to you is driving, and he looks at you and then looks at Dom, and he goes, are you gonna kill me?
Yeah, you're probably not. You're doing a good job driving. Pat on the shoulder. You're doing a great job, in fact. Here,
okay.
Take my comm for now, at least. I got friends who probably have instructions for you, not for me.
He takes the comm. Everyone else on the radio, you hear a key.
Hello?
Who is this? Zach says.
You hear Cor in the background just yell over everybody else talking. He can't hear anyone. This is the guy driving the tank. Give him your instructions.
I'm the driving guy?
I got bad news for you, driving guy. It looks like I want you to move precisely 7 degrees to your left and start going that trajectory. I'm going to see if this, whatever the hell it is actually following you or following someone else.
You've noticed this. It has started moving towards you. It's not walking at a hurried pace, but it's so large that its steps are taking it to where it's keeping pace with the vehicles, maybe slightly gaining on them. You also would hear over the radio like it would key again.
Okay.
And then the tank starts veering off 7 degrees or so to the left as it starts crushing cars as it goes. And Corey, you hear
17, not 7.
oh 7.
Correct your cores.
17. 17.
You hear over the radio.
Oh, right.
And then it starts veering off more. Corey, you can hear him as he's driving. And he goes, "Well, I guess I'm quitting."
Quitting what? Driving? No, you should keep driving.
What? No, I mean the gang. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you don't kill me, they will.
Oh yeah, you should definitely quit the gang. I think your boss is like I kind of peek back over. Man-Eater got fried, right?
Correct. Man-Eater is dead.
Yeah, your boss is a crispy marshmallow. Also, Oak, can you help me fix Dom? He's bleeding a lot.
Sure, as he says that, a big, like, puff of black smoke comes out of his mouth. As he then saunters over, slightly stumbling while trying to keep his composure.
And of course, in the few seconds that this has taken, Evelyn, are you keeping pace with the tanks, like moving to the left with it?
Yeah, I just realized, am I going in reverse?
You are going backwards. You tend to do that a lot.
Okay, so I get it, yeah. Retcon, she didn't look in the rear view mirror, she just looked straight ahead. Yeah, no, she's keeping pace as best as she is able to.
Is she going to attempt to turn around, or is she just going in reverse?
I think she doesn't want to try tempting fate right now.
Okay.
She's just gonna, reverse is going fine right now, she'll stick with reverse.
All right, I'm not going to make you roll a piloting check for that because you're not really changing what you're already doing, so you're just keeping pace.
She's gonna be an expert at driving backwards.
You will see, Zach, since you are the one keeping an eye on it. The lava monster doesn't look like it's tracking you specifically. It is just walking towards and throwing things at the mass of cars in front of it. It hasn't changed course because you did.
It has not changed course.
Correct.
Okay. Zach says, good news, this thing is just pissed off in general, not at anyone specifically. So keep on that course, pilot, and I think we'll be able to get out of its line of rampage within, I don't know, a few minutes. Just gun it, everyone.
The pilot looks over to Core, and I guess Oak, who's now by the pilot, and goes, "Thing? What thing? What's he talking about?"
Don't worry about it. Just keep driving, and you'll get rewarded. Zach
Oak
says.
stares through him, charred, burnt of a man.
He just turns around and starts driving silently. You guys start veering towards the left. You'll notice the tank is picking up its pace a little bit. And mowing over any car that gets in its path as if it's not there. Evelyn, you see Evelyn and Zach in particular.
Every now and then.
Yeah, Evelyn and Zach in particular would see cars just disappear under this thing like it's a trash compactor.
Okay. Oh, that reminds me. When we get back, I have to check and make sure I took out the trash.
It's also pretty clear that no one is paying attention to you guys anymore. Everyone seems to be making a mad dash away from this thing. The armada itself is starting to split and widen out as cars start going their own ways. As it looks much more like a less a pack mentality and much more a every car for itself mentality.
Excellent.
You guys continue to go on to the left.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The lava monster starts veering off towards the right, following the large, massive cars that start going in that direction.
Ooh.
So it starts veering off to the right. You guys continue veering off to the left, and in about 5 minutes or so, you've completely outrun the lava, and the armada is more of just several cars in the distance. There doesn't seem to be any cars that are following you. Per se, everyone seems to be concentrating on driving his way as fast as possible. And you can still see in the distance the lava monster flinging lava globs, and every once in a while you'll see an explosion and a car kicked up into the air.
Core just kind of whistles, seeing that go off into the distance, then becomes acutely aware of how many people are crammed into this tiny, tiny cockpit.
You notice the pilot is driving by, like, his hands are on the controls, but his face is being, like, shoved all the way to the side by, like, one of your limbs.
Oak, should I climb out of this?
Where... Excuse me. Oh. You know, I would be upset at him for hurting himself so much, but it gives me multiple chances to see what I can find out about his anatomy.
Tell me if you find out anything interesting, like where he got those holes. I point to the various spike wounds on his front.
Stray javelin, maybe?
Yeah, that is classic Dom.
Oak, why don't you roll me some sort of paramedics check, or what do you have? What skill do you have medically?
Let's see. I have medical doctor, diagnosis and treatment.
You have any skills better than that? No. Go ahead and roll that skill for me.
I have weapon master harpoon.
There you go.
Let's
do that one.
There we go. That'll fix it.
Roll me, please, your diagnostics for the medical doctor.
Okay. I have a 70. I do not make that.
Boy.
He got a hole in him.
It could be harpoons.
It could definitely be harpoon.
This basically just means that Oak was being very serious. Just because you failed the roll doesn't mean you suddenly don't know how to doctor. It just means that you're not sure the extent of the damage and how bad it is. But it's easy to tell that he is bleeding from several locations. So you can attempt to treat him.
Yeah, I would tend to treat him, yes. You just want the treating roll?
Yes, please.
Any sort of modifier?
Do you
I
have...
should probably get a modifier.
Well, here's a question. First things first, do you have any sort of medical equipment on you, or what do you plan to use to treat him with?
I have anything that's even close to an object that's physically hard removed from me. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So, what are you jerry-rigging together?
Let's see. I think I have a box of 50 plastic bags.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What? Why do you... Never mind. That's gonna take too long.
Creepy old
to
lady
answer.
at the grocery store.
So, those could be bandages, I guess.
At the very least, they could be used as a tourniquet.
Yeah.
Dom has like hip scarves. You could just steal those.
So
Sure, they're
here's
gross anyway.
here's the deal. Since you did misdiagnose a little bit, I'd like you to make the roll harder by 10.
Okay. I got a 50. Yeah, I didn't make that.
All right,
either.
you're having trouble in the cramped space getting the bleeding under control, with plastic bags and scarves.
Who'd have thought?
And Dom's pulse is he is unconscious. He is still breathing, but you can tell his pulse is getting weaker as he's losing blood.
He just turns to Cora and goes, most likely not, he's just going to die here.
Wow. Well, that's true.
Look down, look back up at him. Huh. You think we can call that ship in before that happens? How long's he got, Doctor?
I'm running out of plastic bags.
Can we hear this over the radio?
I guess that would be up to Oak and Core.
My hands do not have a
Yeah.
radio that's on hand that he could do. He's
And Core
hands
doesn't have
deep
the
in a
radio.
person.
We're both yelling into Dom's.
And Core doesn't have
All
the
right, then I
radio,
cannot
so okay. So here's what you guys do, because the driver's the one that has the radio. You guys over the radio here, just letting you guys know, your burn friend here thinks that the scaly guy might die, and that he's running out of plastic bags.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, running out of plastic bags.
No, that's not what I was. Evelyn looks visibly concerned.
You'll hear a soft knocking on the top, on the roof where the trap door is.
Yeah, we pop that open immediately.
All right, you'll see Jack bending over in his power armor going, can you bring him up here?
Oh, yeah. We can totally bring him out. Hero, give me a hand.
He gives you a bloodied and burnt hand.
After a full minute or two of shenanigans, yeah, we do flop him up onto the,
Okay. While you're flopping him up, Jack will start getting out of his power armor.
Okay. Because this is Corsair power armor, that is literally like the press of an internal button, and it opens up and then kind of stands there so that you can just step out of it.
He is going to examine Domhnall, if at all possible. I would like to try and make a paramedics check.
Sure.
Easier or harder?
I'm gonna say slightly harder because there's plastic bags everywhere.
What is the penalty?
Make it harder by 5.
I don't.
All right. So here's what you can tell. That he has several gashes somewhere in his clothing. The clothing is kind of doing a really good job of obscuring exactly how bad the damage is, but he's losing a lot of blood. There are some plastic bags that is trying to hold the blood in, but it's not doing the best job of it.
harpoons, right?
Yeah. Oh, was there something that Zach wanted to do?
Yeah, actually, because he's flying alongside this tank here, he probably would have seen Jack lift a body out of this hatch thing. So Zach will say, talk to me, brother. What's the status? What's going on up there?
Dom is hurt really badly. I'm not too sure if I can actually repair him. I do have a pocket welding torch.
No, I don't recommend doing that. I got a bit of good news. It looks like our fiery friend is going off in the opposite direction. Wansuk, can you hear?
Over the radio, the calm voice again.
I'm here, Zach.
We have a team member in serious medical distress. We're going to need you to land where we are. Do you have our position?
Give me 1 second. I have it. I'm sending the ship now. Understand I won't be in contact until you're back in orbit.
Understood.
And with that, Charlotte sits down. She has not moved this entire time. She sits down and just sighs, and then kind of lays back.
Pilot of the tank there, you still on with our radio?
Yeah, yes, sir.
All right, slow down your vehicle.
Yes, sir.
And then bring it to a complete stop.
Okay. And the tank does as you command within about 30 seconds or so.
Okay, I just want to eyeball the distance between the tank and the lava thing. Is it still chasing those cars that are going off to the right? Are we pretty clear?
Yeah, it's enough in the distance now that the horizon is obscuring it up to about its waist.
All right. Great. And then for my last little action, what I want to do is I also want to land on the tank too, and after confirming that there's no one with weapons on the top, is that true?
Yeah. There's no hostiles on the tank.
All right.
That
I'll
are not
also
dead.
deactivate my power armor then.
Okay.
Oak is communicating to Core. If there was just an ash tree somewhere in this place, this would have been done so much faster.
I don't know why you're so interested in an ashtray. I've got some back at my apartment, but...
No, ash tree.
Yeah, that's what I said. The two just stare at each other.
Hey, Evelyn. Zach says over the radio.
Yeah?
Do we have any sort of medical supplies on board the ATV?
Evelyn looks at the cigarettes that have fallen to the ground and then opens the glove compartment and more cigarettes pour out. Ask Core, he might know.
Core, where are you? I'm assuming, are you still in that hatch?
Oh, no. We're up on the surface of the tank.
Then I know exactly where you are. I look across.
Yeah, I just waved to you. I found 7.5 Band-Aids and a bunch of multivitamins. That's it.
Zach is going to head over to the kind of top of this whole hatch. And he's going to look down it. Can I see the driver from there?
You might be able to see, like, the top of his head.
Okay. And Zach's going to call down, "You! Get up!"
Well, yes, sir. And the driver gets up onto the roof.
Very important question. You're doing great so far, but this vehicle, does it have any sort of medical supplies, emergency supplies, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, whenever Manslayer cut one of us or, blew an arm off or something, we had to treat him down below.
Okay, well, go and retrieve them as soon as you can.
Oh,
quickly, please.
Right, okay. And he runs, he climbs down the stairs, and then in the silence you hear his footsteps and labored breathing. He starts running around the gun towards the back of the tank. He passes Evelyn in the ATV.
Yeah,
and actually,
Evelyn is just watching him wide-eyed.
And he comes around and disappears back underneath the tank. And then after about 30 seconds or so, you hear some rummaging around, and then he comes back carrying an armful of medical supplies like syringes, bandages, just a bunch of stuff. And he starts running back, passing Evelyn again.
She's still watching.
He comes back around, comes up the ladder, and then he just drops it all on the floor.
Hey, good job again. I take my comm back. Good work.
Don't kill me.
Oh, no.
What?
You helped us too much. But before we go, we're going to make sure everything is set straight for you. Don't worry, though. We won't kill you.
Thank you.
In fact, maybe you can answer a question for me. Now that man-eater, or wait, you call her manslayer, right?
That's what everyone calls her, yeah.
Yeah, well, she's dead now. So what's gonna happen to her little gang?
Well, I'm kinda new, but there wasn't really a second in command or something, so...
Alright, well, this is what I'm thinking. Zach says, I think you need a new leader. And I think I'm going to be the one, since I'm the one who killed Manslayer. So I'm going to make you my second in command. What's your name?
Hang on a second. Give me just a moment.
Sure.
Rick.
Drebin!
Okay, I'm fine with that. That's a fine. Yes.
No, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. But you got Drebin. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Snake.
Give me a second.
I was thinking of snakes.
But you gotta say, if you ever say Drebin, you have to say it like you're dying. So Drebin.
Like you're toad croaking things out.
Like you're David Hayter, yeah.
Okay.
If it's Bob, I'm gonna kill
no.
you. I'm gonna throw him off this tank.
He bends down. He goes, Juan Hughes, sir.
All right, Juan Hughes, you are now my second in command, and I have a very important task for you. I want you, once we're gone, I want you to take this tank back to the base of operations. We're done enslaving people, especially children. Any prisoners that we have, I want them set free. You have my authority. You've seen what we've done here. You see the weapons that me and my friends have. In 48 hours, we're going to be coming back to HQ, and we're going to be doing a full inspection to make sure everything is exactly how it is. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well then.
He raises his hand up hesitantly.
Yeah.
Do I have to go tell the ones that are being chased by that giant monster thing?
No.
Oh, thank God.
I'm assuming they'll rendezvous back on base, the ones that have survived.
You're very generous.
Yeah, I guess. Zach says, scratching his head, realizing what a fucked up leader Manslayer was, but hey, we kind of knew that already. Good. Good.
Oh, okay. And he just kind of sits there. Like,
Just collect yourself now.
And Charlotte sits back up, and she says, I see the ship. And you guys, if you look up, you'll see the transport ship that was above you descending slowly through the sky.
I take a look around, look specifically at, I guess, Zach, yeah, since you just gave the big long speech, and kind of flash him a tired, weary-eyed smile. I think we did a good thing here today. Honestly, we're gonna be gone, you're right. And the chaotic kiss of anarchy will probably be better than some sort of crazy despot. But hey, what do I know? I'm a chef. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Just good work.
Yeah, thanks, Zach says, surprised at the compliment. Adrenaline's still completely going through his system, but he says, I guess we'll talk more about this when we're debriefed. I just hope all of us pull through here.
Charlotte actually stands up and walks around to the back of Juan Hughes and goes, excuse me, do you have any heart problems, history of head or neck injuries in your family? What? No, I don't think so. Okay, good. And then she chops him in the back of the neck, and he slumps over unconscious.
Whoa.
She looks at Cor. There's a spaceship about to land. He probably should not see it.
Zach gives a bit of a smile and he says, thank you very much, instructor, but I already had that planned. I was going to give him selective memory loss that didn't involve unconsciousness.
She looks appraisingly at Zach and she nods and she says, well, then consider that noted.
Also, the kid's stupid, and he saw a giant fire elemental today. I think no one would believe any of this. Like, he's gonna be treated like a crazy person for the rest of his life.
Zach actually gives a laugh, and probably for maybe the second time, as long as he's known Cor, he actually gives a sincere smile towards him, and he says, good point.
Cor just kind of shrugs, keeps smoking, looks back at Dom.
Dom's still bleeding.
Well, speaking of, during this whole long conversation with our now unconscious rebel friend or whatever, now with medical supplies, I'm assuming
yes,
other characters might want to
do Oak or Jack, would either of you like to do something? There's a medley of medical supplies. Both of you, I think, are well trained enough to know what most of it is. You got a lot of syringes there that are all empty. You've got several bandages, a few tourniquets, and excuse me, a lot of like surgical saws.
Oh my. Okay, I would like to actually assist Oak and possibly give him a bonus.
Sure.
If I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Oak, why don't you go ahead and make me a treatment check and make it easier by 15. 5 for the medical gear, 10 for the help.
All right. That will be a 75. Yeah. Thanks.
Finally.
Actual supplies. Look how elegant they are.
You might not want to use the saws.
He puts down the saw.
It makes you wonder what kind of treatment they have to perform down there. All right. So you're able to, using one of the saws, I would think, cut enough of the clothes off to properly treat all the gashes and stop the bleeding. So you get Dom stabilized, but his pulse is still lower than it should be. He's lost a lot of blood, so his blood pressure is low. And I would say it'd take you obviously several minutes to do that with Jack's help. And by the time you finish that, the ship has landed about 200 feet over to your right.
All right. Before Zach departs the tank, he's going to lean over towards the now unconscious. So his name was Juan?
Yes, Juan Hughes.
Yeah.
Juan Hughes. He's going to press a finger to his forehead, and I am still going to use my mental block ability. But Charlotte did do me a favor. Instead of it having to be severe, it can be just a very simple thing, because all he's going to have the man disremember is the first sights of the ship approaching, and actually being, like, Charlotte asking if he has a history of whatever before striking him. Just those few moments, those few seconds, just blocked from his memory. So the last thing he remembers is me making him second in command, telling him to let the prisoners free, blah, 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 and then he blacked out somehow.
Sure.
You know?
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's had a stressful day.
It's true.
Yeah.
So the only defensive against this mind control is a mind block. Otherwise, he has to save versus psionic attack.
Okay.
I'll take off my ISP.
Does an unconscious man have defenses?
Technically,
Yeah,
yeah, he
that's
would still
actually-
have subconscious ability to struggle against it, yeah.
Sure.
Not enough, though.
Good. There we go. So Zach will stand up and nod, and he'll look to good Dr. Oak and his brother and say, "Do you need a hand bringing them down?"
I believe that our plan was to leave him alive.
Jack will slowly turn to him and yet nod very slowly. Go back to his brother. I can just carry him in my power armor.
All right.
That'll be fine.
Zach will get on the radio. You still there, Evelyn?
Yeah. Hi. What? Hi. What? I'm here.
Hi.
How's it going?
Well, we're about to get the hell out of here, Zach says. But...
Great.
Hmm? Oh, you said
No,
great.
that's-
I thought you said wait.
Yeah. No. I said great, definitely.
Yes. But you said it was about 200 feet away from us, the ship?
Correct, yeah, to your right.
All right. So then Zach will say, Dom's hurt pretty bad. It'd probably be best if we take him to the ship in the vehicle there. Can you swing around to the right side of this tank, and Jack will come by and drop him off?
Sure thing. Yeah. Perfect. She'll continue her reverse.
Cor once again whistles at the fucking stunt work.
Oak then stands up from hands deep into Dom and then goes, "Let's see if I can't get some extra credit." And then starts looking around the ship. There was particular devices that were near her throne and one that was thrown directly at Cor. Are any of them still there?
Yeah, actually, the back of her throne has several devices on it. One of the ones she used on you, one of the ones she threw at Cor. There's still a few others left.
I would like to collect those, please.
Okay. So you pick them up and put them in a bag. So I'll give you a brief description. There's 3 items there.
Okay.
One of them is the gun she used on you, and there's still 2 darts inside of it. The darts themselves, however, don't look like they're filled with, like, they don't look like they have a place to put a drug. And so there's that. And it looks like a small pistol, almost like something you'd carry in a purse. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There is a smooth metallic rod about a foot long, and the last item. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Is a looks like a small double-headed axe, and when I mean small, I mean like hatchet size. You hold it in one hand. It's maybe no longer than a foot long.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, Oak. Cor kind of walks over, pulls out his ration sack, which is probably just like an equivalent of a trash bag, and just starts picking up the remains of the device that he detonated with Shatter.
Sure, there are still some shards of it left on there.
Hey, you never know. Evidence is evidence. That sounds a lot worse than I meant it to. Old habits. I continue shoving it in the sack.
Shoving it in the trash bag, collecting evidence to get rid of it. Oh my god, he really is a cleaner for the mob.
No comment.
Jack will get into his power armor and carry Domhnall down over to the ATV and gently put him in the backseat, laying down.
Evelyn will look over at Jack. Wow, he is really not looking great. What happened?
Harpoons!
Evelyn looks up. She didn't realize her voice carried that well.
Something like that. Either harpoons and he'll point up to the spikes. He crawled over something like that. I don't know why.
Her face contorts with a mixture of confusion and pain, but she doesn't say anything. She just kind of slowly nods.
Dom starts softly snoring.
Okay. Stay here for a second. And Jack will alight back up over here. Charlotte, would you like a hand down? Over to the ATV?
That's very gentlemanly of you, but I don't think it'll be necessary. Thank you.
Meanwhile, a line has formed for rides down. Oak and Core both
much.
wait.
Okay. Jack will take Oak in one arm and Core in the other and take both of them down at the same time.
Jack, you want to know how I knew it was your power armor? Like, from minute one? The huge biceps.
Jack will solemnly nod.
You have quite a physique on you.
Jack will again nod.
You'll notice, Jack, that the power armor is a bit tight on you. Maybe in the future you might want to look into some sort of custom armor that has extra space for the biceps.
Well, yeah, of course, but, we had limited funds.
No, of course. No, I understand.
not
I'm just
much
saying this is
time
something that your character would be aware of.
Oh, yeah.
Zach is gonna just follow. Oh my God! Why did I just blank on her? Charlotte. He's gonna follow Charlotte down the ladder.
And then Charlotte will sit in the front seat next to Evelyn, and she'll kind of lean her head back and she'll sigh. So you guys get back on the ship, and then it's easy to transfer Dom to some sort of bed. This is a transport ship. It doesn't actually have like a medical bay of any kind, but it does have like a comfortable bed type setting, and he is stabilized, so that's not a huge concern. And you begin to rise back up into the sky. It takes a few minutes, and you're back in orbit. And Wansuk comes back over the radio.
Oh, there you guys are. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah.
Still just coming down off what we went through, but otherwise, yeah, doing all right.
Good. Should I lay in an opening of the temporal gate for you?
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely look that up for you. Was Man-Eater captured?
Nope. We went with the second option. She is dead.
And with that, Charlotte will say, Wansuk, check the timeline. Let us know if it was corrected. And there's like a good 3-minute pause or so, during which you guys are welcome to speak or talk or anything, because Wansuk won't be saying anything for several minutes.
The entire time that this is happening, Kor's he's sitting there, sort of like one leg crooked on the other, knuckles resting against his chin, just staring out over the slowly expanding horizon. Can't quite light a cigarette in here because, recycled air and all that gross stuff, like, you ruin it for everybody. But, yeah, no, he's got a cigarette in his mouth. Occasionally he snubs it out as if he was smoking it, but otherwise quiet, thinking for a change.
Oak is currently using the rest of the supplies to patch himself up.
Oak? Oak?
He takes a second, and then his hand stops moving. He looks up.
I haven't gotten how are you feeling?
Well, I am suffering first-degree burns in most places.
Yeah. I can see that. She says, looking at him.
Oh, how are you feeling? As his eyes light up just slightly when he says, feeling.
She sort of rubs her stomach a bit. Still a little queasy, but I was just wanted to make sure you were okay and that man-eater didn't do anything to hurt you or Core. I couldn't really get a gist of what was going on.
Oak actually tilts his head slightly and goes, "Here, take this." As he, rummages through his bag and then, pulls out a plant, kind of leafy looking bit, kind of a twig, and then he goes, "No, not this one." As he then takes out a similar looking one.
What? Thank you. She says, she was about to ask what she was supposed to do with this, but she thought it might be too rude, so she gratefully accepts it from you and kind of sidesteps away. Well, it was nice talking to you. I'll leave you to you doing your thing.
Why aren't you? You're supposed to chew that.
Oh, she stuffs it in her mouth.
Oak then has a small, yet probably disturbing for most people, grin, and then goes back to a solemn stitching himself back up, also pulling off bits of his dead skin.
She will continue chewing, and once again sidestepping away and making sure Oak's not looking. At some point, she will spit out the plant.
I will say that while you are chewing, your stomach does feel better.
Oh, what a nice guy.
She says, spitting out the plant.
she doesn't know if she's supposed to swallow it or not.
Good point.
Yeah. So after that, it's about that time that one suit pops back in over the radio.
The Yavias are confirming that the timeline has been corrected. It looks like a man-eater was, apprehended or stopped or, I believe, murdered in this case.
Murder? Jack? No.
My brother.
Murder, Zach says, we eliminated a target.
Yes, I didn't mean that in a negative way, simply that she is dead. Unless it was accidental. I suppose that's always possible.
No, it was very much intentional, Zach says, thinking back of the broadcast of her slitting those children's throats.
Ah, I see. Well, I'll go ahead and open up the temporal gate for you. Stand by.
And then she'll click off the radio.
Zach will give a bit of a sigh, and he'll look over to his brother and he'll say, "How you doing, big bro?"
Jack, who was just sitting there closing his eyes, opens them and just shrugs. Fine,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I know how you feel. I don't know how we're going to rate on this, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad you're okay.
You too.
You see Charlotte over there, as you say that, she pauses from, she's running her hands through her hair, getting out all the burnt, charred bits. she pauses as you say that, and then she says nothing, and then keeps like combing her hair. And as she does it, like ashes are falling out of each side. There is maybe half her hair left as far as length, and there are some places where it's rather quite short.
That's too bad. Her hair was her fourth best feature.
Only the
Only
fourth,
the fourth.
though.
Yeah. She's got
Although
the other
her
three.
eyebrows were number 2, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Oh shit, you're right. She's down 2 out of 5. This is
yeah,
not good.
she's got to roll a d20 on her looks.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Minus
Criana.
4.
And after a second or two, you can see out the front window pane of the ship. Space seems to contort. It looks as if there's a line at first that is drawn across the stars, where the background seems to fold in on this line, and then the line widens and opens into an oval shape. And through the line, you can see the city of Zeberon off in the distance. And as your ship approaches it on autopilot, it begins to pick up speed until engines are engaged in maximum thrust. And you guys can feel this, even with the inertial dampeners, you can feel the slight shaking as the hull is pushed to its maximum. And it approaches the hull at a blinding speed and crosses through it. And the second it crosses through it, the turbulence picks up. It's not horrible. It's like, for those of you who've been on a plane before, think slight turbulence to where you can feel it. It's shaking, but it's not like throwing things around.
Yeah.
As you pass through the temporal gate and the extreme gravity of the black hole of the Eye of Zeberon starts to pull upon you. The momentum gained before you travel through the gate is enough to break free of its tug, and after about 30 seconds or so of turbulence, the ship begins to slow down and level out. And with that, Charlotte stands up, stretches, and says, "Oh, I'll get us clearance to land. You guys get some rest. We'll land, get Dom to the hospital, and then how about everyone get some sleep? We'll reconvene to grade you tomorrow morning."
Zach gives a distant nod after clearly breathing a very heavy sigh of relief once they made it through the temporal tear.
All right. If no one says anything else, she'll just quietly move to the cockpit and begin contacting Zeberon for clearance to land.
Yeah, well, I guess when Charlotte is otherwise engaged, Cor kind of looks down and over, kind of nods, slight smile playing across his lips. You know, that was really something. Like, still having trouble processing it all. Eyes grow distant. A lot happened. Like, the smell of ash just once again wafts through the compartment. You're reminded of the fire elemental. You know, I always thought life would be something that I was perpetually a joke that I'd perpetually be the butt of, but that was something else. Morbid, honestly disturbing at some parts, but call me curious, profoundly so. Cor looks down, the weird moment of lucidity continuing for a moment. Before his brow knits, he stares over at Zach. Wait, did you throw up on me?
Zach, for the first time since, since maybe this mission started, maybe a little bit after, he actually gives a laugh and he says, "Yeah, it was a part of the plan. We had to make it look like Oak poisoned you, and you were in no position to vomit."
Cor incredulously looks around at everyone in the crew, looks over at Dom. Dom isn't there, looks down at himself, and just starts furiously wiping himself.
You'll be fine. Don't worry.
Oh, it's so gross.